Well, the Jussie Smollett story caught the attention of the nation. The actor accusing two men of jumping him in the middle of the night, alleging they poured bleach on him, shouted racial slurs, and even put a noose around his neck. However, the Chicago police believed he staged the attack himself, charging him for lying. And as the trial played out, it brought high-tension moments and a guilty verdict. Take a listen.
All right, defendants remanded to the custody of sheriff. Court is adjourned.
I am not suicidal.
Stop locking up our class.
I am not suicidal, and I am innocent. I could have said that I was guilty a long time ago.
The conviction was eventually overturned, and Smollett cleared his name. And now NewsNation is diving into the police files of evidence and sharing brand new interviews with the key players at the center of this scandal. Joining me here now, Jesse Weber, who is filling in for Anna Koyman this weekend on NewsNation Now. So this case, I remember, got so much attention. Besides Smollett's fame, though, what were the other contributing factors around this, would you say?
Yeah, first of all, love talking about this. Would have liked to be a part of the documentary. I'm not insulted, no big deal. Okay, so first of all, this was a very complicated legal mess, okay? First, you deal with the idea of, was this an actual attack? Oh my gosh. Then you find out through the investigation, or authorities saying it was staged. So first we have that shocker. Then charges are brought against, a very prominent actor in a very prominent show. And then you see that the charges are brought and they're ultimately dropped. They're dropped so that he can forfeit his $10,000 bond, do 15 hours of community service. Very controversial decision, because at the end of the day, this was a waste of police resources. Filing a false claim is a very serious offense. Even a judge came forward and said that a special prosecutor should be brought in. New charges are brought. A trial happens. He is convicted for disorderly conduct for filing a false report. He is sentenced to 5 months in prison and 5 months in jail, and only spends a few days because he can get out while his appeal is happening. His appeal makes its way all through the courts, and then the Illinois Supreme Court says his conviction should be thrown out, not because he's innocent, not because of the facts of the case, but that he shouldn't be prosecuted. That because he took that deal to forfeit his bond, he never should have been brought up on additional charges. He expected that he was never going to be brought up. And so it's been a roller coaster.
It's such a wild story, and I'm really glad that NewsNation is taking a look back at this. Should have included you, but I'm glad you're here now to talk about it. What new evidence do you think this will bring to light, this special tonight?
I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about what this case was, what exactly the timeline of events were, and trying to clear it up. This is a very, very big deal. And again, I think the part that I just highlighted before, why his conviction was thrown out, was not because the court said, oh, he didn't stage the attack. It was very similar to the Cosby situation. In fact, the Cosby ruling came out. It's the idea, if he was promised a certain result, if you give up your bond and you agree to community service, you will not be prosecuted for this. He shouldn't have been. His rights were violated. Double jeopardy. That's what the issue was. That's what the Illinois Supreme Court found. And I think trying to understand the timeline of it and understanding the legal mess of this is really, really important, because this shouldn't have happened on so many different ways. So I think giving viewers an inside look about the evidence, the timeline, the testimony is going to be really critical.
And you've covered a lot of cases and trials. What was most shocking to you about this case? What stands out the most?
$3,500 to pay brothers to stage an attack. And I will tell you, as I sit here today, what started in 2019 and made its way through another trial in 2021, sentencing in 2022, and we're talking about a documentary in 2025, I still don't get what the motive was. I still, if you believe authorities and prosecutors that he staged this, and even the judge said when he was sentenced for attention, I don't quite understand what the benefit of all of this would have been, because at the end of the day, it was very sloppy, and they were able to uncover that it wasn't adding up, whether it's the bleach or the weather or the noose, whatever it was. And I just don't quite understand what the goal was.
And that's the key thing, really, in any case. It's really hard to get to the root cause of why people do this, especially in this. It's just so interesting. I'm glad we're going to be recapping it tonight, and we're looking forward to having you in the next couple hours filling in for Anna Koyman. So thank you for joining us today. And you can watch that Jussie Smollett Scandal tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern right here on NewsNation. Check it out, and we'll be right back.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.